Here's the first of our engines coming in. Right. This is a magnificent Burrell Showman's Road locomotive. In fact, we've got 4 of them here this weekend, all different sizes. This is the biggest of them, regular attender at our rallies, and it was built in 1910 originally for the War Department as a crane engine. You imagine this little engine with a crane on the front, and was then taken into Showland use with Herbert's of Dorchester, and it spent the rest of its working life with them and came into preservation. And David has actually driven this engine here, not all the way from Cornwall, but up from, it's come from a rally in Devon, and he's driven it on the road from that rally, so it's quite something. He loves driving this engine and making it work for its living. So there is a very famous ex-Anderson and Rowland engine, Gladiator. Oh dear, the dog's going to have a ride. This dog loves riding on traction engines. I think it's grown up with Ernie, our World's Fair correspondent. I said I won't say anything.
I know somebody could do a couple of spark arresters on their knees there, David, I'll tell you.
And they have 2 cylinders, 2 high-pressure cylinders, no flywheel, designed for rolling tar mechanism. The weight distribution is such that the water's in belly tank, so it's equally distributed between the front and rear rolls. Now an engine that's been at our rally a number of times, a Burrell traction engine owned by Nick Baker, but being driven by another Burrell-owning crew. And this is Daphne, the 7 horsepower Burrell traction engine. It spent its working life on thrashing in the eastern counties, the Bartrup family, I believe. And this was the actual owner's engine, so it was always wanting to see how much of the ex-King's equipment we can get back together, not just steam engines but everything, and this obviously engine will be part of that display. And it is nice to see engines in their sort of working condition. We do get them all beautifully polished and cleaned, but this, yeah, the children could all be polished and cleaned. There was a trailer which Mike has lovingly restored. This is fascinating to see. And this is the sort of side of preservation that you don't often see. So it's rather nice to have it with us this weekend. And Mike has worked down hard to get it ready to bring it here to the rally. And that is quite something. It's a trailer specifically designed for carrying boilers, gun barrels, anything large and circular. And
are you comfortable on there, Mike, after he said that?
Merv Wines normally comes along with a Yorkshire steam wagon. This year, an Avon Porter roller. And Ryan and his daughter, Maria, they're very much part of this engine. It was part of their lives. And it's nice to see them back with it again. And Maria there's a great steam enthusiast. And then we've got an engine which I'll be telling you something about later on, but it's the 4th of our Burrell Showman's Road locomotives. And you can see on the front it was built in 1922, and it worked for the Thurston family over in the eastern counties. It's only just come back from the continent, and it's been bought by Nick Baker down in Dorset, and we should be telling you a little bit more about this engine in just a short time. Now we've got the first of our steam wagons coming along. This is the Sentinel. The Sentinel, this one was built in 1934, supplied new to the Cowlayers Cooperative Society. As you can see, it's restored to their colour scheme, and will spend its working life in around the Glasgow area delivering coal. and now put back into its original livery after a loving restoration by Vince Gore and his family. Then a completely unique road roller. This is a Marshall tandem road roller. Again, the design was for rolling car macadam, and a number of companies built different designs. One or two companies built these type of tandem. Aveling's built some, but this is the Marshall version. A very small, totally enclosed engine, but it also has a steering engine, a small steam engine to actually steer it with. Somewhat different from the usual arrangement. Nice little engine, originally built as a road roller and then converted to this tractor form. A nice little engine indeed. Pretty engine. And this one built in 1895. So we've got two engines at least here that are well over 100 years old. Very much a Somerset engine, this one. Purchased at the Taunton show in 1895 by Mitchell, who were crushing contractors with Marriott down in Taunton. Went into preservation quite early on. Now with Stewart, Barnes at Polsham, Stewart decided that the engine was over in South Wales and it ought to come home to Somerset, so we bought it and restored it to its original colours. Now the second of our design introduction of steam vehicles for the road. They're quite modern in appearance. The boiler is actually behind the crew. The coal is fed down from hoppers in the roof, seats down automatically, and very, very modern with electric lighting and everything. Very fast on the road. I've tried following some of these ones coming home from rallies, and it's quite a job to keep up with them. Then the opposition here, the Bowden, this again was an engine which came from one of the King's sails, one of the earlier sails, and been restored. Very much a local engine, just down the road here at Pitney, and has been coming to our rally here for a number of years now. Very nice to see it again. And
kids, youngsters are enjoying it. I know how I would have enjoyed a ride in one like that when I was that age. Of course, we were still building them then.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's what a wonderful collection of engines that we've got here this year.
And a bit of everything too.
Yeah.
That's interesting part of it.
Earlier on, we had a miniature traction engine come along, and called Corn Maiden. But to have the actual engine and the miniature.
That was the one that John Ravenel from Weymouth brought around. I think he's trying to get the two together sometime.
Yeah,
have you done that yet?
It'll go. Oh, it's going to have that.
I like that old McLaren there, David. I do appreciate the restoration and the finish on some of them, but when you see an old engine like that, that's
sure. And Garrett's were a company at Leiston in Suffolk. They built quite a large number of these for the First World War, and then the things they could get their hands on in the colonies rather than coal. And in order to keep it simple, it's only got a single gear on there, and very few moving parts, so very little to go wrong. It's rather nice. He's towing this complete outfit around with him. We've got the Ransom Simpson Jeffries thrashing set there, and the baler on the back. This is a circular baler, but in those days they would have been rectangular bales. It's rather nice to see the whole outfit on the move.
And one here to keep coming through the village with the jump wire bike and all on the power.
Yeah. Then we've got another of the Wallace and Stevens. We've got quite a collection of Wallace and Stevens engines here this year. They're two of them down wood like a burl, and it'll work better. Oh, I mustn't say things like that, must I?
Artistic license.
Artistic license.
They've made it outside of our country, so they're entitled to just whatever they like.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, never mind. Now, it's nice to see them. These magnificent big ploughing engines, I mean, they really revolutionised agriculture. They worked in pairs either side of the field, dragging the implement backwards and forwards across the field between them.
I had the honour of helping put that together. I didn't have any mechanical knowledge, but no pen purchaser and the main work on that. I did what I was told when I was working with men, and a lot of people here can still remember. Oh yes, Ryan was going to be here young lad then. That's going back to about 1960 or 70. When the lower Fisher plant was informed that the official candidate would be Lawrence Billington. Friends at the time, and he came along to do the official naming and was coming along to the top. Happy memory. I hope one of these things now, it's easier. Ah, there you go. Now where's the two young ladies? Here they are. They're all... You'll bring everything, you know. It's my special appointment with the light source of Friday. Anyway, come on, a much bigger roller. I had to in those days. Right, another of our Fosters. This one owned by John Mitchell from Cranmore, and it's got this beautiful replica of the Foster trunk. Oh dear, we're into the lost property again. Someone has left a set of keys over... with the real full-size engine alongside it. So you've got a one-third full-size and an actual one now. This will give you some idea of just how good these model engineers are. They really do some superb work. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Our thanks to the owners and drivers of these miniatures for bringing them around, and